Hello, hola. It's me, Kate, extremely cheap internationally. I'm linguist and founder of Lingua, and this is episode 8 of the podcast Adventures of a Curious Linguist. Well, you noticed I started speaking Spanish like, why? Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? Because we're continuing talking about my adventures in Spain, in Madrid, on my way to Salamanca, and in Salamanca. Well, if you haven't watched previous episode, please watch it to find out what happened. And I'm going to pick up where we left. I was on the train to Salamanca. I was really happy because, well, finally, no huelga, no strike. I can reach my destination. I was on train, all good. Then I realized, damn, I have no idea where to get off. Because Salamanca didn't have just like one central stop, Salamanca Central. Well, I had a few stops and I had no clue because I knew how to get there only by bus, not by train. So I started texting my agent here, this wonderful lady, like, oh, please help me. And it was kind of funny because I felt like as if I were like a pilot, piloting aircraft, and she were like this air traffic control operator, at the airport. Yeah, just take there, this degree, that degree. So that's how it felt. So she went to investigate, to check, because don't forget, at the time, no internet, no mobile internet, no local SIM card. So she kind of helped me here with instructions. Then I got off at the right station, got a map, good, very useful, very handy, and decided to walk to my building, like to my future house. Well, it was around half an hour probably. So I was with my bag, and it's like sportive bag, my shoulder, not really cool, got very, very tired, but still persisted. It's around like lunchtime, walking around, and when I was already in my sort of like area zone, I couldn't find my building. I was looking at all the buildings in front of me and they were all identical. And even worse, there were no numbers on buildings. I didn't notice that numbers were on doors and I wasn't used to such numeration. So I literally I was just looking at them just like straight, and I couldn't see anything. I didn't know where I would go, how I would go. So I didn't panic, but I was so tired. I was pissed off. I was just like I'm hungry. I'm tired. I want to get home. I want to get a shower. No. So I was calling already that lady. She wouldn't pick up. I was trying to call different doors and buildings. Nobody was home. Well, it was like a working day, so probably everybody was at work. Then the agent was saying, okay, fine, go to school. So, yeah, operator, yeah, traffic control. I reached school. It wasn't that difficult, thanks to all the signs they had around the street. So obviously they had dealt with foreigners before, yeah, so they knew how to attract attention. I got in, reception, cool. Finally, paid the money. You remember? I had lots of cash, like Euro trip, yeah, but nobody robbed me, thanks God. Well, about robberies and all this in future episodes. So I was there. I was like, okay, I got some water, some cookies, some nibbles, great. But then they were like, how about an entrance exam? Well, we are figuring out what's going on with your host family. What about the entrance exam? It's like, what? You ask me now when I am exhausted? I'm really, really tired. Like my muscles are sore because I carried my bag. I need a shower. I need a proper meal. And you're telling me at entrance exam? Oh, fine. So first I got down to the writing part. Okay, figuring out. And then oral part, yeah, speaking with somebody. But don't forget that the night before, I spent with that wonderful lady Maria, with whom we were chatting all the time, all in Spanish. So it meant that any kind of fear that I might have had just vanished. Yeah, because I was in stress, in force majeure situation. I had to open my mouth and speak. So it resulted in that I got something like in between B1, B2, like the end of like the upper of intermediate and the start of upper intermediate, which is really cool. So they're like, okay, that's nice. How about putting you in a group in the afternoon? It's like, afternoon? Yeah. It's like, so you will have all mornings, afternoons, like free. So you will start at 4 and finish at 8. Like, strange. So while I was trying to figure out my schedule, because that indeed felt strange, they found my host. Yeah, my host mom, whatever you call her. In fact, you know what it turned out to be? That she left for a shopping mall when I arrived. So she kind of like miscalculated time or whatever. So when she showed me the way to the building, and she showed me the building, and felt like I passed the building a few times, and I even like ran there each door, but nobody like replied, or like it was like wrong, you know, the address flat. But in her flat, nobody replied because she was out. Wonderful, perfect timing. Anyways, so then obviously I checked in and I found out that the family consisted of 2 people. So herself, lady, like in her middle age, and her grown-up son. And that was quite a surprise. Why so? Well, he was probably like in his late 20s, start of 30s. He just got back from like military service. He had military career, whatever it was. And so he was spending time with his mom, like living with her. And for me, coming from different culture, like for the first time encountering here with Spanish realities, it was really bizarre. Only later, like I found out that lots of Spanish guys and girls live with their families, with their moms and dads, you know, like until they're like in their 30s, like 40s, even like 40s or 50s. And it's like, it's fine. Like we understand now it's economic situation, it's culture, all this. But oh my God, like back then I was like, okay, cool. But I didn't feel like quite comfortable with that because like, it's like grown up guy, like home. And I had a double room. So it meant that somebody else would be with me. And then there was another room. And it turned out that there would be 3 Italian girls, teenage girls, like even younger. Whew. Let me put it this way. I was at the stage when I was determined to learn first Spanish and then Italian because I loved and I love Italian culture. And like later, I'll definitely explain to you why I decided to do this, like why Italian, etc. But like it was like, oh yeah, Italian, like that's a plan. But these girls almost ruined it for me. Why? Because the way how they behaved. I mean, they were like, it's probably like, you know, the word that could be like from the Italian part, from the Italian culture. Why? Because they were super noisy. They were all the time speaking in Italian instead of practicing Spanish. They were dirty. They were lazy. Like they were sneaky. One of the girls and her like man started dating that grown-up guy behind the lady's back. Like so many things happened there. I was like, oh my God, like I just like I can't like at that very moment it was like Italian, like my vision of Italy, and these girls I was like, oh, I love everything Italian apart people. So but then it changed. Like I have lots of amazing Italian friends, all this, but like there was like hell of experience to live with them. Yeah, to live with Italians, like to live with Italian teenagers, let's put it this way. Italian teenagers who have no supervision whatsoever, who can do whatever they want, and it's nuts. Yeah. But anyways, so this is kind of like my home, like about host family a bit later. But the schedule. right? So I got the schedule from 4 to 8, and it meant that I could do whatever in the morning, early afternoon, and night. Oof, it turned out to be really cool. And you know why? Because we started partying at night, and we could get home at whichever hour and wake up like at 10 or at 11 a.m. Then go for a walk, get some food, go shopping, and then go to study or go to extracurricular activities or whatever it was. And it was like hilarious because obviously we were all international, and there were lots of American girls and guys who were like underage, and they were like going for the first time to like abroad, and it meant that they could drink. And what I was observing, like watching with interest almost every night, how bunches of American students would be puking on central squares after drinking too much, like for the first time. Crazy. But this is not going to be the story of this, about this. This is a story about what happened next. I'm going to share it with you next episodes. Here it's 2010, so it means that there was something big international happening in the world, and my experience with it in Salamanca and a host family. So if you have any crazy ideas from Spain or from any different country, feel free to share with us any cool linguistic discovery, like whatever you've got there, your experience learning in a language, your first encounter with a representative of the culture, language that you were learning, whatever there, just post it on social media, #Comelingua, and the best stories we're going to publish in our social media channels. Well, have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever it is. Hasta luego. See you soon. Ciao.